small caps, EV sector, dip buying in October. So I pulled up the, I think this question is, should we be buying the dip in EV small caps? So the EV small caps are a subsector of EV. EV, this is the EV ETF, iDrive, the US one. There's other ones, but this shows roughly, if we get just into the chart here, what's happened over the last 5 years. So you might recall the EV boom or the bubble that happened in late 2021, early 2022. By the way, anytime you see a subsector that is not profitable, that is, everyone's talking about it. You know, my dad would always say your cab driver's talking about it. Your cousin who you haven't seen, who you only see at Christmas, who never talks to you about investments, starts talking to you about a subsector that isn't profitable. You're usually close to the end of a bubble bursting. And I remember thinking that about EV, and especially if we were to pull up so anyways, it kind of burst. It was at 50, 60 bucks. It kind of fell. And now it's starting. I think what this comment is saying is this chart looks like it might be trying to start to recover here. I would just caution you this. There's a lot of these patterns. Lower lows are generally not good, right? So there was a low here, then there was another lower low, another lower low, another lower low, lower low, lower low, lower low, lower low. It is tough to pick this lower low bottom. And I do think that EVs they're part of the future. We all know that. The problem is this consolidation. Remember the cannabis bubble, Tanya? Do you remember this?
Yeah.
Like everyone buying cannabis. I went on BNN and I said, whoa, pump the brakes. These companies that aren't profitable, they're not worth more than, the Royal Bank of Canada, who just made, X many billions of profit last quarter. Like that company is not more valuable than that company. And sure enough, the entire thing collapsed. And now they're in consolidation mode. All these small companies are being bought out and restructuring, and they got all this debt, and some of them are going bankrupt. And I'm not saying that's for sure going to happen to EV, but there's a lot of players in EV, and they're not all profitable. And I'd be careful here if I were you. Let me just put it that way. It's not something
and even more careful on individual names. Because if it does end up being kind of like a consolidation type of situation, well, how do you know who's going to end up on top? You just don't.
Yeah, you really don't.